bright forecast, ran a huge race in the Ballymore. Chasing next season?
Very much so. Nikko's already schooled him over the fences, and he couldn't have been any better. He's a complete athlete. He jumps beautifully, and chasing is very much the way forward. We're just going to leave him be now for the rest of the season. He ran a mighty race. I think it was just a bit, being only his fourth start, he was just a bit almost green and clueless early doors, and we tried to hold a handy enough position. We were very quickly sort of in the back row, as it were, but even though he jumped a bit big and slow in a place or two, he worked his way into the race very nicely out wide and finished with a wet sail. And I mean, he was gaining hand over fist up the run. So that's very nice to see from a horse around Cheltenham.
What do you think his trip will be next season?
I think he'll start over 2.5, but I think when we move up into the sort of graded novice chases, I think we'll go 3 miles. Maybe a look at the Quarto Star would be our first sort of big target. There's a couple of nice races at Newbury on the way there at the Ladbrokes meeting. He's a horse with a very bright future.
And Global Citizen, another one to go chasing next season.
Yeah, he was disappointing at Cheltenham. Things just didn't work. From flag drop, he just wasn't himself. He's come back and his track wash wasn't perfect, and it's one of those things. We tried our hardest to have him A1 for the day, and it didn't quite work out. He was the only one of the whole Cheltenham team that sadly didn't run his race, but he's still a 160 rated horse to go novice chasing with next year, and he again schooled last Wednesday and was absolutely electric. He again a real athlete and a very exciting novice chaser for next season.
And your Cheltenham Festival winner, Breuil, all being well in 12 months' time, will we be sat here talking about a Grand National horse?
Fingers crossed. That's what the whole thing will be aimed towards. He came out of the race very well, if not a little stiff. He'll just be wound down now towards the end of the season. We were thinking about what was the Whitbread, about 365, I think, on the last day of the season, but I just think, to be honest, that was a war of attrition, that race, and he probably doesn't need to run again this season. He's done his job, and he'll be lightly campaigned, I would imagine, to try and have a nice racing weight for the National next season.